From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, January 14th, 2017. Silver is trading at $16.81 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,198 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 1.2 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $833. Antiwar.com reports the Obama administration has noted a few times that they have not been invited to the Syrian peace talks in Astana, Kazakhstan. That's true, and it's no oversight, as it appears that the Russian government, which along with Turkey brokered the talks, has sought to give the invite to the incoming Trump administration instead. Trump has been critical of the horrible relationship between the U.S. and Russia during Obama's administration and promised to improve relations significantly. Russia clearly likes that, and while it's not a practical distinction, inviting him and not inviting Obama is a last little blow from Russia to the lame duck president. The talks are scheduled for January 23rd, so they'll be the first big thing the Trump administration has on a foreign policy front after inauguration weekend. The talks are seen as the first big effort at peace in Syria in months, though exactly how many rebels are to attend is still unclear. There are also doubts that a nationwide peace is possible, with several factions explicitly excluded, including all of the Kurdish groups, which are the key American allies and which were forbidden from playing any part by Turkey, which insists they are all terrorists. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports after the Senate ground out an amendment following a marathon late-night session earlier this week, the U.S. House of Representatives voted on Friday to pass a budget bill that represents the first step in killing President Barack Obama's signature health care law. The House voted 227 to 198 to approve the bill, which directs 4 congressional committees to draft legislation to repeal the Affordable Care Act. 9 Republicans and all Democrats voted against the measure. Congressional Republicans have responded to Trump's urging, even though a replacement program almost certainly does not exist yet, a proposition Democratic leaders have all warned will have severe consequences. Nonetheless, victorious Republicans applauded the beginning of the end for the ACA on Friday and said the lack of any successor legislation is not important. Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organization to show up in an emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare to the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411, because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Get it today at getcell411.com. Reuters reports Chicago police routinely violated the civil rights of people in one of America's largest cities, according to the U.S. Justice Department in a report released on Friday, citing excessive force, racially discriminatory conduct, and a code of silence to thwart investigations into police misconduct. The report said excessive force falls heaviest on Black and Latino communities, with police using force almost 10 times more often against minorities than whites. The DOJ began a civil rights investigation in December 2015 after the release under court order of a video showing the October 20th, 2014 shooting of Laquan McDonald by Officer Jason Van Dyke. That video was released more than a year after the shooting. The video sparked several days of protest and led to the ouster of Chicago's police chief and calls for Mayor Rahm Emanuel to resign. The McDonald shooting was one of many high-profile incidents that thrust Chicago and other U.S. cities into a national debate over the use of excessive force by police against minorities. The 161-page report said use of excessive force by Chicago police included officers shooting at fleeing suspects and using tasers on children. Earlier this week, Baltimore agreed with the Department of Justice to change how officers use force and transport prisoners almost 2 years after the death of Freddie Gray while in police custody. Chicago and federal officials have signed an agreement in principle to create a court-enforced consent decree addressing the issues revealed by the probe. Chicago's compliance with the decree would be reviewed by an independent moderator. The consent decree must be negotiated, then approved by a federal judge. Chicago Police Union President Dean Angelos Sr. said in a telephone interview that Rahm Emanuel's decision to sign the agreement was reached too quickly. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.